on continuation of corneal ulcer, there are some complications in pyogenic corneal ulcer, in which the localized corneal ulcer, a perforating corneal ulcer, and sloughing corneal ulcer. So complications of localized corneal ulcer. Exudate in anterior chamber blocks the angle, and there is rise of intraocular pressure. So there is secondary glaucoma, or perforation of cornea with its sequelae, sloughing of cornea with its sequelae, and ultimately pinophthalmitis may occur. Next is complications of perforating corneal ulcer. There is subluxation of the lens due to forward displacement of iris and lens. The lens comes in contact of the corneal ulcer, so anterior polar cataract may develop. Expulsive hemorrhage, it is due to sudden lowering of the intraocular pressure as the aqueous is drained, and pinophthalmitis due to entry of infection from corneal ulcer to the interior of the eyeball. Now, complications of sloughing corneal ulcer. In this case, there is a big gap in cornea, so the lens may be dislocated or extruded out. The expulsive hemorrhage takes place, or pinophthalmitis may occur. Later on, when anterior staphyloма develops, there is a complete abolition of anterior chamber, so secondary glaucoma may occur. Now, clinical features of corneal ulcer. Clinical symptom: pain in eye. It is due to exposure and irritation of sensory nerve index. Next is profuse lacrimation. It is due to reflex sensory stimulation. Photophobia, that is intolerance of light, and blurring of the vision, and headache may occur. Clinical sign: lids, blepharospasm, particularly in children. In blepharospasm, there is a forcible closure of the lids. The spasm of the lid is due to sensory irritation, reflex sensory irritation. There may be edema of the eyelids. Now, in conjunctiva, conjunctival congestion and chemosis of the conjunctiva, there is ciliary congestion. In cornea, there is a rough, raw, yellowish white area in cornea. Iris is muddy in color, pupil is small. The hypopion may be present or may not be present, and it remains sterile until the Descemet's membrane remains intact. The corneal tissue surrounding the corneal ulcer hedging. It is due to infiltration with leukocytes. Now, vascularization of the cornea arising from limbus. So, these are the clinical features of the corneal ulcer. Now, management of corneal ulcer. in management, local and systemic. In local, ideally, the scraping of the corneal ulcer should be sent to microbiologist for culture and drug sensitivity test, but treatment should not be delayed. So broad spectrum antibiotic, eye drop, depending on severity, 1 drop 1 hourly instead. Broad spectrum antibiotic ointment to apply 4 times a day, and atropine sulfate 1% to apply 2 to 4 times a day, either in the form of eye drop or ointment. Atropine had some role in healing of the corneal ulcer. Atropine desensitized the exposed nerve endings, so pain is reduced, and atropine dilates or increases the intercorneal lamellar space, so more and more aqueous with nutrition enters the site of ulcer and healing is enhanced. Atropine reduces the lacrimal secretion, so watering is reduced, and atropine is a cycloplegic, so it dilates the pupil and gives the eye rest. So, and it also prevents the formation of anterior synechia, or if synechia occurs, it breaks the synechia. Atropine is a vasodilator, so it more and more antibody reaches to the aqueous, which enhance the healing of the corneal ulcer. Atropine also reduces the hyperemia of the conjunctiva. So these are the role of atropine in corneal ulcer. If the corneal ulcer is progressive, then in spite of this treatment, then we cauterize the age of the corneal ulcer, or progressive age of the corneal ulcer, with thermocautery or pure carbolic acid. Now, systemic treatment, broad spectrum antibiotic ointment in proper dose, analgesic anti-inflammatory in proper dose, and multivitamins in proper dose. In active corneal ulcer, eye should not be bandaged, because under the bandage it increases the temperature, which enhances the growth of the bacteria. So eye should not be bandaged in active corneal ulcer. Steroids should not be given in active corneal ulcer, because it is immunosuppressive, so it increases the infection and corneal ulcer progresses. Now, management of complications of the corneal ulcer. If there is exudate in anterior chamber, it should be left as such, because in treatment of corneal ulcer it absorbs spontaneously. But if there is a dysmatous with hypopion, then paracentesis should be done to prevent further bulging of the Descemet's membrane, and atropine and broad spectrum antibiotic should be applied with pad and bandage. If there is a perforation of corneal ulcer and iris prolapse, then atropine and broad spectrum antibiotic ointment should be instilled and bandage to prevent further iris prolapse. Next, If the cornea is left out, then atropine and broad spectrum antibiotics should be applied with pad and bandage. And when anterior staphyloma is found, later on enucleation is done. So this is all about treatment of the corneal ulcer. हो गया।